know that according to the Center on Budget and Priorities, that in one single month in 2018, over 40 million Americans were a part of the welfare program that is SNAP, which is the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, formerly known as food stamps. And while that sounds great, unfortunately there are a lot of problems with this program that the government needs to address. All of you here today have had to do some sort of grocery shopping in your life, and some more than others, but chances are you have been at the grocery store and you've been buying something and you've been behind someone that has paid with food stamps. And you might have had all these thoughts go through your mind, like what is their story? Why are they having to do that? So recently I volunteered with a group that reached out to people on welfare and SNAP in particular. We got to meet with these people and learn a little bit more about their stories and why they were on this particular program. Having volunteered with this group, it has given me a little bit of a better understanding of SNAP and what it is, and not only how it affects people in our country, but it affects people in my local community. So today I'm going to tell you a little bit about the welfare program that is SNAP. I am going to tell you how the government needs to take some simple steps to modify this program. Specifically, I am going to tell you about the intended use of SNAP, how people are becoming government dependent, about how people are abusing the system, and just some simple steps that the government can take to reform this welfare program. So first and foremost, I want to tell you a little bit about the intended use of SNAP. According to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, SNAP was intended for low-wage working families or low-income families, people with children or senior citizens or people with disabilities. And while this is, a great thing and people think that it helps, it was intended to be a temporary safety net. It was intended for people to just use to help them get back on their feet. It was not meant for people to use for a long period of time, just for those economic downturns and just help them get back on their feet. So one of the big problems is government dependency. And according to NPR, or National Public Radio, people are making notice of this. President Trump is wanting to implement a program, and he wants to cut funding, and this would leave about 3 million Americans without their assistance. And I deeply believe that this needs to happen just because these people need to realize that they need to get back on their feet. Because like I mentioned earlier, it was meant as a temporary safety net. It was not meant for something for people to be on forever. So this program would allow these states to stop expanding this program, because these states are expanding it, the income and the requirements, and they're making it easier for people to get on welfare and SNAP in particular. So the next problem would be abusing the system. According to NPR or National Public Radio, one of the biggest problems would be people that apply for welfare and receive it that don't really need it. A Minnesota man, he did this little experiment to where he had really large assets, but he had a very low income. And he wanted to see if he could apply for welfare, SNAP in particular, and receive benefits. And lo and behold, he was able to do this. He received SNAP, and while this is very rare, it just shows that it does happen, it can happen, and there is a loophole, and the government needs to make it harder for people to apply for it and get it and make sure that they really need it. So another example of how people are abusing this system or this program is that through household size. It is becoming a problem with people expanding their household size just to receive more money. According to lowincomerelief.com, if you have a family of 5, you can receive on average, almost $800. If you have a family of 3 it's just a couple $100s. So it drastically changes with your household size, and this is motivating people to increase their household size to get more money. So lastly, another problem with abusing the system is cash benefits. People are using their EBT card and to get these cash benefits to buy harmful things such as drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, things that they don't need to buy and is not bettering themselves. So according to the USDA and their Food and Nutrition Service.com, this is happening, and it is called trafficking. It is very rare, but it is possible. So some solutions to this would be to make stricter work requirements for these people. Make sure that they are working, and that the government, one option would be that the government has an incentive program that if you are working, that you receive it, and make sure that they have a job. Another solution would be education and training programs. Our government does have this right now, but no one is aware of it. I know I went to a public school with people that were on welfare and food stamps, and I had no idea this even existed. So just making everyone aware that this opportunity is available to them, and just better it and make it better for everyone. Another solution would be through donations. Donate your extra food and just really, make aware of the people around you that need this food, and just help them better themselves. This is all ways that the government can make. So today I have told you a little bit about SNAP. I have told you how people are becoming government dependent, about how they are abusing the system, and I've told you about the intended use and some solutions the government can take. So now that you have learned all this, I hope it has expanded your knowledge, and you know that some steps that the government can take that needs to happen to reform this program.